Hi everybody, I'm back. I'm sitting here today with Julie Marshall, who I'm excited to let you know is running for Board of Ed. So again, I've asked Julie, similar to other videos, I've asked Julie if she would sit down and answer some questions, and I wanted to share her responses with all of you. So first off, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And yeah, without further ado, I'll begin. So, just start by telling me about yourself. What are your interests, your education, hobbies, how long you've lived here?
Sure. So we moved here in 2020, right at the peak of COVID, which was super fun. We moved from Killingly, which is on like the Rhode Island border, but I grew up in Tolland right next door, so I'm pretty familiar with the area, and we moved to be closer to my family, which has been nice to have them nearby, especially during like COVID when we weren't going a lot of places. So we've been here for about 3 years. And since then, we've become pretty involved in like what's happening in town and what's going on. It's a small town. It's nice to know what's happening around where you're, living and where your kids are going to school. So we have tried to be as involved as possible. And here we are now running for something. I have 2 kids, one in center school and one in hall school, and they are currently loving school and go and have a great time, have made a ton of friends, which is great, especially as new-ish to town.
Absolutely.
I am a board certified behavior analyst, and I am currently a doctoral candidate trying to finish up my dissertation right now. And I have a lot of time spent into that, but otherwise I'm also a long distance runner. So that's my only hobby because I don't have time for any other ones past those 2. Yeah, between the 2 of those and the kids and everything else, that's pretty much all of my time. But I am almost done with the dissertation. And now that I am a little bit more open in my free time, I want to be more involved in the town and being able to help others. And my kids.
Excellent. It's super helpful to hear about. So what inspired you to run for Board of Ed?
So kind of some of the stuff I just mentioned. I want to be more involved. I want to make sure that my kids have the best educational experience they could possibly have. I want to make sure that their friends and the other kids in town have a really good experience where they're able to grow and thrive and learn the things they need to learn, both educationally, socially, in every way possible, since that's a whole picture of how they go to school. It's not just the education, but also the social aspects, mental health, all of those things kind of cue into how well their school experience is.
And how do you feel your professional background would inform your how ready you are to serve on the Board of Ed?
So I am a certified educator in the elementary, nursery through 3rd grade, and I was a preschool and kindergarten teacher prior to the job I have now. I'm currently in an early intervention, so little kids. I still have a certified education background. I was the teacher before. I work with the school systems in the area in all of the Northeast and help transition my early intervention kids into the school. So I'm familiar with the special education teams in most of the schools, particularly the preschool, and occasionally a little bit older. So I have a really good base as a parent. I know the schools. As an educator, I worked in some of them a little bit away, not here. And as my current job right now, I work with them in a professional scope also.
Great. And thinking about the Board of Ed, what do you see as the 3 most pressing issues facing the Board of Ed?
I definitely think that we have some work to do with our facilities and with our schools. We need to get some things a little bit more up to code, for lack of another word, make it a little safer environmentally for the kids. We also have a lot of mental health things we need to focus on, trying to make sure that everyone's gone through in the last 3 years, that our children are okay, that they have the supports that they need, and that they are in a place where they can continue to learn. And I think it's important that we make sure that everyone in the school is supported in all ways. I know we're fixing our curriculum and changing it right now, so hopefully that will be a good start to make things a little bit more educationally as well.
So what is your approach to building consensus or dealing with dissent on a committee, particularly on a topic where residents are divided?
So I think it's important to listen to all sides, even if I may not agree with them. Try to get a base and a feel for where somebody else is coming from, why they feel the way they do, why they've come to the conclusion that they have, so we can try to find a way to move forward. And if there's a compromise available, that's awesome. Sometimes there isn't, sometimes there is. But I think it's important to know where they're coming from to begin with, so that I can find out if it's something that's a strongly held personal belief they're never going to budge on, or whether it's something that we can talk about the facts and science to try to come to some middle ground.
And related to that, what is your approach to handling criticism? I mean, we know that individuals sitting on committees across town or within town sometimes receive a lot of criticism, and Board of Ed can be one of those. How would you handle that?
I have very thick skin. Most things do not bother me very much at all. So I am willing to take whatever is said. I do try to see if there's any truth to anything that's said about me and see if there's some way that I misstepped or should do better in the future.
Yeah.
But then other times there might be things I can just brush off if it's not relevant or not a learning experience for me.
Absolutely. What distinguishes you from others who are running on the Board of Ed? For the Board of Ed?
I do have a very strong education background. I know a couple of the other people running also have a very strong and lengthy education background. My current experience right now, working from a professional scope with the schools, I think also allows me to see inside a little bit differently because I'm not staff at the school when I'm there. I'm staff in early intervention, and I'm working as a professional from a different scope, looking at how things are working and how it's looking. So I've kind of seen all the sides.
Perfect. And last question, is there anything else you would like to share with us?
I don't think so.
You clearly love Halloween.
I do really love Halloween.
I know y'all can't see this, but there are a lot of Halloween decorations, which I love.
Thank you.
You definitely get in the seasonal spirit.
My family just kind of deals with it and lets me do my thing.
You sound like a perfect family. All right, thank you so much. See y'all later.